Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk Taskmaster Series 1, and we're here at the grand final already because these early series, I'm not sure exactly how many of them, but I think at least the first 2 or 3 are only 6 episodes long. When they were still made by Dave instead of moving over to BBC 2. But yeah, here we are at the grand final. And I'm 95% sure I know who ends up winning this series. I'm pretty sure it's Josh. I think he's already in the lead, and a fairly comfortable one at that. But I don't remember how all the rest of it shakes out. Although I'm also pretty darn confident that Roisin comes last and that she may remain the worst contestant ever on Taskmaster on a points per episode basis. That being said, things were scored a little bit differently in these early series, so there may be an associated penalty there. Like we were talking about after last episode, the team tasks. There's only 2 points available in those, so there's fewer points available to the contestants. The average score will be lower because of that. But yeah, last episode of the series. I'm not sure if there's any crazy iconic moments from this episode, but there certainly have been over the course of the series. It's been super entertaining. It's been so much fun to revisit it with the knowledge of who the contestants were. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it all ends up. So let's jump right into it, guys. This is episode 6 of series 1, and it's called The Last Supper.
He's looked exactly the same for nearly 60 years. I've seen baby pictures, it's weird. Frank Skinner! When he reached the age of 12, he thought, yep, I'm sticking with this. It's Josh Widdicombe! After a party at my house, I found this comedian asleep on my sofa with 14 penises drawn on her face. Roisin Conaty! Quite simply, a lovely, kind man. Probably my favourite, really the loveliest of all the contestants, Mr. Romesh Ranganathan. And finally, a man who's earned a great deal of respect in the comedy industry, but often lets himself down in social situations, Mr. Tim Key.
Okay, I've been practicing.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
4. No, 4. Is that banter?
It gets much better than this, guys.
It doesn't always. Today you've asked them to bring in their most satisfying item.
Let's get some points
Most
going. Tim,
satisfying.
what did you bring in that's satisfying?
I've made a fish chowder.
When did you make it?
I made it on Sunday.
Oh,
What day did they film this?
Oh, man. This was made on Sunday, it's now Wednesday. You're not wanting me to eat this, right?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yes, please, Greg. That's why we came, to see you shit yourself.
Not exactly the reaction I was after.
The only way to judge how comforting this is to eat it. I'm not prepared to do that, but my assistant is.
But I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Why
That's
are
my
we...
cooking.
It's really nice. It's very satisfying.
Yeah?
Yeah, really satisfying.
Will he puke? Won't he puke? Will he puke?
It's not like it's been sitting out for 3 days.
I have brought in my vape mod.
The only way that that's going to be a satisfying thing to bring in is if I'm addicted to nicotine. Lucky for you, I am.
Do you know what's so great about it? Is it stops you smoking and you feel like you're giving Robocop a blowy.
What I find really satisfying and comforting is a head massage. There's a tool you can get, it's called the Orgasmatron.
Oh my God, that's
yeah.
amazing.
And you do that to yourself.
It's so good.
I'll tell you what, I get the vape thing, get that. I've got a weekend.
I spent 3 months of my life completing the 2014 World Cup sticker album.
Oh my God.
They're all there, they're all in order, they're all in...
Not the best photo to show it off, really.
This is a stressful age we live in, so I brought in an anti-stress ball. Shut up, I'm getting $4,000 for this.
I just wanted to say, someone sponsored.
Roisin, I don't want to massage myself. Then I'm going to put Romesh in, because it was supposed to be generally satisfying. There's only a few losers here who are addicted to nicotine.
You're one of them, mate. That didn't go as well as I hoped. It's backfired. I look like a prick now. So.
Anyone who makes me a lovingly prepared fish dish is going to win this task. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the first task is Mr. Tim Key.
Good. A little home cooking wins. I would have made it last night, though. I would have made it Tuesday night, not Sunday.
Roisin's on 60, Tim's on 70, Frank 77, Romesh on 81, despite not winning a show. Josh is the leader so far on 85.
Remarkable.
Okay. Josh has a 4-point lead. And Romesh, it's kind of crazy. He's like always second every episode.
Get the lowest golf score using eggs.
Your score will be calculated as follows. Shots times eggs times minutes.
Oh.
Your time starts.
So you really don't want to
now.
break an egg. And you want to go fast.
I seem to remember that if you hit them on the point of the egg, they don't break.
But they also don't
That
roll
was
well.
incorrect.
Shit.
Yeah, I think you want to
You have to
sweep
them a
more
bit
than
harder
hit.
as they bleed.
Are you allowed to just sweep your way through it in golf?
I don't even know if morally I'm allowed to do this.
They're not showing Tim or Josh. So what did they do different?
I wonder if that'll go over.
Which was the problem hole for you?
I think it might be the one that I used over 2 dozen eggs on, maybe. I think that might be. Just off the top of my head, that probably is.
Bad vegan.
The vegan, wow, lost his mind, didn't he? Why do you hate chicken so much?
I don't hate chicken. Listen, it was a really upsetting day for me. Well, how many eggs? I don't know how many eggs I got.
Well, you took 68 shots, 14 minutes 20, and 36 eggs. We ran out of eggs.
I asked for more eggs, but I was denied more eggs.
Yeah, because we were worried about the chicken community dying out. Do we think if most of the egg gets in the hole, that's counted?
That's exactly what you should ask yourself.
I'll do that now. Craig?
Yes!
So, Frank, you took 32 shots, 7 minutes and 5 eggs. You got a score of 1,096.
Much better than Romesh.
Roisin took 40 shots in just 4 minutes using 6 eggs. She got 1,000 points.
Some of those shots did last for 35 seconds.
Yeah,
Can I go in and boil an egg?
very smart. Although it's going to change your time.
I've got to boil the eggs, haven't I?
Yeah,
I'm boiling the eggs.
From what I remember, it's 3 minutes. Come on.
that's not a hard boil.
Hang on.
Yes.
I wonder whether I could have boiled them for longer.
Yeah.
My egg issues.
Tim Key. Oh, Tim. Oh. Bravo to Tim. I think Tim did. I'm going to assume that's a clear winner.
I mean, should you be penalised for bad boiling?
Yes.
You can't have it both ways.
Also
And were you
penalised for
expecting
making bad
some
tea.
points for that tiny bit of shell you got into one of the holes?
You said any egg that gets in the hole counts as in the hole.
No, he said
If
most.
we're happy,
He
then
said the
Josh,
majority.
took 42 shots in 21 minutes because of the boiling problems. And he used 7 eggs, so you scored about 6,000 points, just over. Tim, 39 shots, 10 minutes, 3 eggs, 1,200 points.
Oh.
So if we're all happy with the rules,
So
which we're
Roisin wins?
Are you serious?
I'm just looking at his face, he's so crushed.
Well, I didn't sort of say it at the time because I thought I was going to run away with this one, but Roisin just swept them. Sweeping's not what...
I didn't sweep the whole
You
time.
swept most of the
No, I
time.
didn't. I think you're all shit at golf. It was my first go. Because I've
you,
got the
Willie.
lowest points.
Because you didn't break any eggs, pretty much. I mean,
But surely I should have 6,000 points then.
No, the lowest is better. No, I think let's listen to Roisin. Give her that. No, she's absolutely right.
It just feels really weird that I haven't won that.
Tim, what happened was you put it in the tennis ball, but then you were very bad at getting the tennis ball into the hole because the tennis ball was bigger than the hole.
I think we should score this according to...
Who's won?
Who's won.
Good idea, yeah, OK, let's do it. In that case, Roisin Conaty is the winner.
Roisin Conaty wins!
I'm not sure how I feel about that. But yeah, I wasn't counting Tim's strokes, obviously.
We've actually put the contestants into 2 teams. We put the 3 in the middle, Josh, Roisin and Romesh, as one team.
One last
because their
team
age is
task.
up to 100, as does the other 2.
Is that facts? Tell me whether that age math is true. Like Frank could be 65 and Tim could be 35.
Stage a realistic blooper from a home movie.
They took this idea to Kongan Befaller season 1 too, didn't they?
The film that I think is the funniest, I'll give 2 points to each person in the team, and the other people get nothing.
Yeah, again, the weird team task scoring.
Where have you done this one, or you have to
Hundreds and thousands, yeah.
count the hundreds and thousands? It's really fun.
Let's go see how they're getting on.
No, is this? Yeah, but is this 100 or is it 1,000?
Are you serious? Which one? What about the yellow one? Yeah, this one.
Terrible filmmaking.
It's us.
What, the one this here?
It's
And you can't say, oh!
Alex, it's me. I told it. I'm so sorry.
Excellent pratfall, Mr. Horne. Excellent pratfall.
Worst acting I've seen committed to a film ever.
What? Alex fall?
No, Alex was great in it.
What acting? What about us? I was too method. That's what ruined it.
How did you feel about
Well, I was very pleased with my performance, but when I saw about the camera work, you kind of miss the fall.
You missed the fall into the pool.
So I had to Blair Witch.
It is a lot shitter than I thought it was going to look.
I agree with Romesh.
Let me see how the old people did.
Okay.
Be careful on that ladder, mate.
Jeff, mate, I know what I'm doing. I do this every year. Oh!
Oh.
They didn't show it either. I mean, they have to get the crash pad out of there, I guess.
Brad. Oh, God. I'll get help. I'll get help.
It's going to be a borderline decision.
Yeah, I mean, you could just see how it was done. If you pause it at a certain point.
I'll get help.
I mean, they were both fantastic efforts, but...
Well, you're half right.
Brad and Jeff are our winners.
Make the best meal for the Taskmaster.
Using ingredients beginning with every letter of the alphabet.
You have a total of 2 hours. Your time starts
First
now.
cooking task. Okay.
I'll do the difficult letters first.
Qua.
Need to think something that starts with Q. How do you spell kumquat?
Q.
Not with a Q. Quince.
I-N-O-A. That's not
Quinoa.
right.
Yeah, that is.
I'm tasting it.
Back? He wants back.
I'm in a bit of a dilemma here because I'm a vegan.
Yeah, but you're not eating it.
Z. Tough one, isn't it?
Zucchini.
you would have as a part of a roast dinner, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you could roast roast zucchini, sure.
Get rid of the bacon. Get some bacon.
Fakin.
Umbongo.
Umbongo?
How do you spell ouzo?
O-U-Z-O.
But there's no ingredients that begin with X, except triple X mince.
Xylophone.
Xanthan gum.
Extra large.
Eggs.
But I don't really want anything that big.
Just get extra large eggs.
Romesh, the vegan, you still had eggs and ice cream.
What I thought was I'd compromise by including dairy item, but I didn't go the whole hog, as it were.
Oh, man.
He really likes his own joke.
Shit the bed.
I mean, the
Thank you, Roisin.
pizza looks all right, but the plating on the quinoa salad.
It's got a kick. Sausage is undercooked.
No, it's been there for 25 minutes.
No, that's it, overcooked. The goat's cheese and the anchovies. They're a powerful combination. What's the name of the cocktail?
Cocktail.
I almost feel like I don't have to drink it because of the smell.
That's enough.
All right, all right.
What is the flavour of quinoa?
Horrible. Do you want to see another pizza?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, well, this is nearly a pizza from Josh.
Nearly.
Fuck off. Can you take your sock off, please?
It's nice, and then you hit the nectarine, and it's confusing. Okay, so the pizza. You're saying thin and crispy.
It's not crispy.
It looks like a pizza, and then you eat it, and it tastes like a lot of ingredients on a wrap. I mean, it's very minty.
The triple X
Dusting
mince.
tastes like dust.
What's the dusting?
Just like watching a student cook what he would normally cook.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Man can't broil bread. There's the xylophone.
Weirdly, it's quite quite nice. He's made it look awful, and then
What do you mean look?
the taste is so surprising.
Yeah, but look at all the colours and everything.
I'll have a bit of ouzo, fruit salad.
So the first thing is I've been totally won round by the inclusion of xylophone now. And what I want before I eat is to be just incredibly irritated. How did it taste? I mean,
It was pretty good. There was no meat, so it wasn't very nice. But it was all.
I was doing it for your own safety, and I was trying to help you sort of live a more ethical life.
Do you want to see a man cook meat?
I want to see a man deal with meat.
It just never occurred to me that it would have things like a skeleton.
It's rabbit.
What if I cut a centre section in the steak and then use that to house the hollandaise potato?
Tastes like honest food.
It's artisan.
Yeah, but also if you got served it during the war, you'd understand. A bit of zucchini wheel. But the cargo was exceptional. The fennel has a horrible texture.
Like you put fennel in a
The
fruit
taste
salad?
is admirable and a welcome surprise. It's an excellent meal. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
That's how to present a xylophone. That's
Yeah, as a plate.
I mean, it looked like a genuinely delicious meal.
The main dish, it was called beef au van, so it was a pun as well, because it looked like a van.
So much texture in that meal.
It's very, very different to Tim's.
Oh no.
It was what it was.
It was what it was.
I wish I got some pasta. Oh, God. I'm now making pasta. Dog food. Ravioli.
Oh, dog food ravioli.
That tastes nice.
Really?
There's obviously Cave kettle chips in the pasta, as well as Averill brand. C for cheese spread.
You don't like it, do you?
Not easy. Very thick and hairy. You can see the hairs.
Hairy?
I don't know what the hairs are from. Yop and tequila. Basically, it's Malibu. That's lovely. That's less good, that one. That one didn't taste nice. If somebody served this to you, you would not remain in contact with them.
I've served it to you.
So it ends. There was grapefruit in every course. You called it... Do you remember the whole meal? You called the meal citric feces.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you've got to admire my ambition.
I just love the first thing that you said was, this is actually quite tasty, and the chef went, really? The two pizzas going in last, the absolute lunacy of Mr. Tim Key's going in third, and Romesh is in second. Clearly the best meal there, by a country mile, was Mr. Frank Skinner is the winner of the and a special round of applause.
Funny and
for Mr.
traditional.
Alex Horne, of course.
Yeah. Dog food pasta.
Anyone could still win the series, except for Roisin and Tim.
Okay.
Wearing boxing gloves. Put the blue sweets in the empty bowl. Most blue sweets wins. Non-blue sweets will be subtracted from your total. You have 100 seconds.
Sorry, Greg, can I just quickly say, I've got a cool technique.
Cheer for your favourites.
Frank's got one. Frank has one.
Oh, Romesh is going mouth. Tim's going feet.
We will take away the non-blue ones
Yeah,
from your
but it would
total.
still be more than what I would.
No,
anyone else would have,
Roisin
because
can't
I'll
do
have the whole
math.
bowl in there.
Yeah, but you'll have more non-blue than blue.
I'm willing to chance it.
Roisin can't do math.
Tim's bowl is still empty. You have 50 seconds, Tim. 48 now. 25 seconds. 10 seconds.
Mouth to the stage floor. Okay, who actually won here? I feel like Romesh did well.
Well, amazingly, Roisin got 428 blue sweets into her bowl.
Minus.
She also got 2,571 non-blue sweets, so she scored minus 2,143.
Neck and neck.
Josh, you got 23 blues, but 13 non-blue, so you scored 10. Frank, 12 blues, 1 wrong, 11. Romesh, 22 blues and 10 non-blues.
Oh,
He scored
12.
Tim Key, 21 blues and no non-blues.
Tim Key. Nice.
Good, what does that do to the scores?
That's what we're about to find out. Wow, what does that do to the scores?
So Tim Key has won his first episode of Taskmaster. So
So Romesh still goes non-victorious, unvictorious, invictorious, sub-victorious.
Alex, do some maths and tell us, who is this series' overall winner?
But there are two people tied in second and third, but as you can see here, the overall winner was Mr. Josh Widdicombe.
By a single point. Wow. Do they have the golden... Oh, we don't have a golden head. It's a karate trophy. I didn't realize we didn't have a golden head in Series 1.
Good night.
It's always a little anticlimactic when the non-winner's like celebrating his prizes at the top there. But they should have said, they figured this out in later seasons. They send the episode winner first, and then they reveal the series winner.
I'm not saying that this was a last-minute purchase, but why is there a man doing karate on the top?
It was a fun final episode, but I feel like this was the least memorable episode of the series, and that's okay. It's probably smart to make your craziest episodes the first ones when you're launching a new show and you're trying to find a new audience for a new idea. Which isn't to say that this episode didn't have some really fun tasks. So the prize task was most satisfying, and I don't know. I got really worried for Tim in this task. The reaction to a fish chowder that's been made a few days ago seemed very negative. Refrigerators exist in the UK. I mean, I'm not trying to be derogatory here, but you're familiar with the concept of a refrigerator. Food can keep, especially when it's been cooked. It's not going to spoil after a couple of days in the fridge. But Greg surprised me. He came around. He enjoyed it, even though he didn't try it himself. Alex was a willing guinea pig, and he quite enjoyed it. So I'm glad that he got that. I feel like the Orgasmatron should have been demonstrated. I forget what... Was it Series 14 that it was used? It made a reappearance? I can't remember the task at all, but I do remember it being used recently, and I'm intrigued. I'd like to know how it feels, and I feel like if Roisin gave Greg a go on the stage, he may have scored things differently. Man, vaping. Was vaping cool in 2015? Because I feel like it's that whole sector has just kind of cratered in the last 8 years. But yeah, I feel like the right person won that task. And then we went to mini golf with eggs. And clearly the way to win this was to bend the rules the most. The lateral thinking move of boiling an egg was not a successful tactic because it took so much time. And still Josh didn't boil them hard enough. And Tim's strategy of putting the egg into a tennis ball to protect it also failed because he was really bad at golf. But I think those two also took the longest time. And the actual winner is Roisin, who arguably didn't actually play golf at all because, as we pointed out, she was sweeping. But Greg seemed to be fine awarding her the win in that. I don't know. It felt very lenient, especially considering how much of a... He's been quite harsh in his judgments this first series about disqualifying people for bending the rules. So I'm a little surprised he let her get away with it, but I feel like there was a missing tactic that everybody missed that would have made things much more successful. And I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I feel like, what if you had wrapped the golf club itself in padding? What if you really took the edge off, so to speak? So you're not hitting a hard egg with a hard club face. What if you wrapped the head of the club in a towel or something? Maybe it would fail miserably, but maybe, like, I don't feel like the eggs were breaking because they were hitting things. They were breaking upon impact with the club. So if you could reduce that, or putting a raw egg into, like, is there a better solve than the tennis ball that Tim used? Because if the tennis ball is too big for the golf hole, then that's an issue. It's a scary scoring system, because every time you break an egg, you're multiplying your score. You want to go fast because time is a multiplying factor, and yet you don't want to take a bunch of strokes either. So all the factors that go into scoring are sort of at ends with one another. You take your time and you be patient and gentle, then you're going to take a lot of time and you're going to have a lot of strokes. If you go fast, then you're going to probably break a lot of eggs. Yeah, I don't see the easies. I don't see the easy solve, which makes it a great task. But I feel like Roisin got away with one in that one for sure. Film a TV blooper. Stage a TV blooper. Maybe it's just because I'm not a fan of blooper shows, or at least I haven't been since like the late 80s. I wasn't particularly impressed with either of the efforts. Roisin's camera work was too Blair Witchy, in my opinion. Frank's camera work to set up on the staged mannequin legs in the dirt was unnecessarily complicated. But I liked the idea behind Frank and Tim's solve better than the other three. And I kind of almost... My favorite part of Frank and Tim's is seeing Tim face down on the crash mat to begin with. Because I feel like... I want to go through the footage again, but I feel like the ladder he was on to do the fall was not a big one. And he landed on a big old crash mat, like at least a foot thick. I feel like you wouldn't have needed to do that. I feel like he could have taken the pratfall just onto the ground. Because I think if you showed his feet on that ladder, he was probably only a step or two above the ground. And then if you don't need a crash mat, he could run out of shot, and you'd have and take the ladder with him, because there were two separate step ladders, I think. That's how we do it. That's how we film it in a real TV series. And I'm not sure if that makes it better or worse. I mean, making it more professional might take the charm away from it. But yeah, I think the problem with the group of threes gag was that Alex was taking the pratfalls. There were three of them. None of them really wanted to put a face in a cake or fall into the wading pool. And I think they got scored accordingly. But again, the team tasks are a 2 or 0 affair again. I'm curious why Alex and the producers decided to score the team tasks differently than the individual tasks in this first series. It's just an oddity that I'm curious about. The next task was the alphabet meal. I think the way to win this task, you need to have a dish. You have to, well, first of all, you have to be a decent cook. And some people are and some people aren't. But if you're a decent cook, you've probably got a signature dish. And I think the smart thing to do would be to make your signature dish first. And then figure out what other letters are still up in the air. And then either a fruit salad or a vegetable salad to take care of a bunch of those extra ingredients. A cocktail worth throwing into the mix, and if there's room for dessert or pudding, as you say, then that's how you clear things up at the end. Xylophone, like xanthan gum, is where my mind goes. I've never done any molecular gastronomy, but I know xanthan gum is used in some of those preparations, and I think it might be used in like making those pearls, or just as a thickening agent. So there's solves out there, but if I had gone the xylophone route, I would have gone the Frank Skinner way and used it as a plate. I think that was really smart. He kind of ruined his steak. I mean, I like the pun of it, the beef au vin, but cutting a section out of the middle of the steak to scoop potatoes into just feels like you're ruining the integrity of a good cut of meat. And the foodie in me cringes at that. But then the foodie in me was cringing at most of those meals. Genuinely impressed, frankly, that Tim Key managed to pull off a pasta period without having put it on his list. And the fact that he made it out of nacho chips or whatever he ended up making it out of, doubly impressive. Now, he kills himself by putting dog food as a filling when I'm sure there were other options that could have been better. But I like, you guys have talked about this in the comments. We all know Tim Key is a good friend of Alex's, and he's on the show as a favor to Alex to be the wild card, to be the person that does the abstract interpretation of the rules, who tries to cheat occasionally, to see how far we can push things, which sort of sets the tone for future series. And we also know that Tim, after Series 1, became a task consultant for the show. Now, what that means exactly, I'm sure, is open to interpretation. Does he actually come up with any tasks? Does he just look at the wording of tasks to help eliminate some loopholes? Or is it more of just a free paycheck from a buddy? Because there's a ton of those sorts of jobs in show business as well. But I think Tim knew his purpose for this series, to stretch the rules, to look for the loopholes, to sometimes sacrifice points for comedy's sake and make his friend eat dog food pasta. So in a sense, Tim Key's performance on this show is really just sort of here's what's permissible and encouraged. It's a demo tape for future contestants, I think, and he does a great job in that. He sets the tone for future contestants who take really creative interpretations of tasks, and sometimes to great success, sometimes failing miserably, but almost always quite entertainingly. And ultimately, that's the point. The show has to be entertaining. Now, I do find it really interesting that this episode, the trophy wasn't Greg's head. I love that they hadn't thought that far ahead, and they just ended up getting some random karate trophy. I wonder if Josh in the future got awarded a head when that sort of became the standard prize. Because if I was him, I'd be a little bit miffed that every other future winner got Greg's Golden Dome and I have some random karate trophy. But it also tells me that they really didn't know what the show was going to turn into. They didn't know if this was going to be 6 episodes and done. Obviously, it's all filmed before any of it airs, so you don't know what your ratings are going to be. You don't know what public perception and reaction is. And I'm sure, I don't know if this was Dave's very first in-home production. I know they're primarily a rerun channel, and this was one of their first in-house shows, but they clearly had a lot riding on the idea, and it turned out to be a smashing success. I guess they sold the idea to BBC, or I don't know exactly what that process was, but they ended up moving to the BBC. But I'm sure Dave still has some rights or profit share of the show. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. but they came up with something really successful. But again, was anyone going to support original programming on Dave? I'm sure that was a big question when a show like this first came out. You know, it could have failed miserably and quietly gone away, and no one would ever talk about Taskmaster. But it turned into a smash hit. We're about to jump into Series 15. We're about to jump into Taskmaster Australia next week, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, all Taskmaster all the time here on the channel. There's not going to be a week without Taskmaster here on Neil Talks. There's going to be weeks when we have live new shows where we'll be doing multiple episodes a week. Like, for instance, we might already be doing it. I don't know when Series 15 starts. When I'm recording this, it hasn't started yet, but I know it's coming this spring. So, yep, we'll be getting Taskmaster Australia and Series 15 both every week. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm loving this show, guys. I love the whole concept of Taskmaster. Clearly, it's got a big fan base in the UK and around the world. If you haven't checked out an international version yet, give them a shot. They're a lot of fun. Some are better than others, but there are certainly some international versions which are on par with the original and are definitely worth seeing. So if you haven't yet, give them a shot. You won't be disappointed. And yeah, I'm psyched for next week, guys. Taskmaster Australia, and we may already be into Series 15. So how awesome is that? Until next week, everybody. Take care. Stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.